Hi, this is Mel, and I'm here at the Knowledge Center right in front of the DataWorks lab, and I'm here to talk to you about motivation and jobs and rewards. So I want to show you first of all where I'm at the Knowledge Center. I'm down here on the first floor at the DataWorks lab, which is a really cool place. If you guys haven't been down here, you really need to take advantage of this. And the person I'm going to be talking to today is Duncan Aldrich. And there's Duncan. Say hi, Duncan.
Hi, Duncan.
And Duncan's one of the folks down here. This is his area of responsibility, which is this DataWorks lab. And I want to talk to Duncan because he's been around in the library profession for a long time. So this idea that we're in a knowledge center compared to a library, he's kind of seen that in his lifetime change from one to another. So Duncan, can you kind of talk about what it was like as a librarian 22 years ago when you first started?
22 years ago, yeah. I started here in 1986 as a librarian, and almost everything we did was with paper, ink on paper, and it was either books or brochures or journal articles.
Do you have some paper card catalogs too?
We had paper card catalogs still. Computers were just coming in. We had one computer, one microcomputer in our department, and actually several departments borrowed on it. We had no laser printers, only dot matrix printers. So it was quite a different world. There was only one online database that we used to search for materials from the U.S. government, and that was the Patent Office had a database. Although there was a company called Dialog, and I'm amazed I can remember the name actually, and you could pay by the minute to search some databases on Dialog.
So because you didn't have any of that electronic stuff and you had a lot of paper, I imagine back in those days, because I kind of remember that myself too, that when people came into the library, they came and asked you for stuff, right?
That's right. They
I mean,
came
so there
up
was
to the desk, and we mostly we had paper indexing. A lot of our current indexing is sort of the spawn of, or the offspring of. But it was mostly digging through paper indexing and helping users do that.
So at that time, at that point in time, what did you really like about your job back in those days?
And Mel, I'm going to tell you, I liked exactly what I like about it now, and that is helping people.
Yeah.
And getting them the information they need, and it's rewarding to me to provide them with what they need, in my case usually for class assignments and things like that.
Yeah, so the motivation is still there regardless of how significant your job has changed.
Right.
Yeah, the way you go about doing it is so different now.
Yeah, we really go about it differently now. We're one thing, for example, with Google available, and there's just so much information available on Google that's good, but also there's so much information that's questionable, and some of it just downright misinformation or bad information. For example, a Martin Luther King site that is just really trashing Martin Luther King, and there's really nothing true on it. It's just made up by people who don't like him for whatever reason. But helping students ferret out good information resources to identify why something seems authoritative or authentic, as opposed to you might find a paper by a grade schooler on the web, and you probably wouldn't want to use that as a source for a college level paper.
And then obviously your skills have changed over the years too in terms of your abilities to work in a system that's different.
Working here at one, I don't work with books and journal articles in paper at all anymore. I'm totally work in a digital environment. Students used to have 8 to 10 page papers, and they still do quite a bit, but there's a lot of other alternative sorts of assignments like poster printing, and so I've had to change my skills in order to help them with what they need, which is to print out a poster and put together a poster, and so we provide those services.
And of course that's what you and I just did just a few minutes ago, and Duncan's great. Find him at the Knowledge Center, look him up, check him out, and thanks again, Duncan, for your time.
Okay, well, thank you, Mel.